All right, good evening. Here we are live in the Heart Centered Warriors on 222, February 22nd, 2022. And we are talking to you about heart health. So I had to wear pink. And of course, we are doing this on 222, which just was actually a fluke, but I'm pretty excited. And, I thought the topic of heart health, okay, I find it interesting. I'm a coach, but I don't know if you find that interesting or not. So I was like, we really got to bring all of this together and make this super interesting. So I hope you enjoy the show. There's a lot of information that's going to be dropped tonight. But we're basically, I got to pull up my notes because you know how easy it is for me to keep going. But I want to talk about heart health, the emotional, the physical, the spiritual well-being of your heart. And so both Renee and I graduated from HCI, and we are certified in heart disease prevention. So if there is any kind of chronic diseases that you're worried about, that's maybe hereditary, or maybe your doctor is giving you some warning signs, like reach out to myself or Renee, because we are both certified in heart disease prevention. That was like a bonus that we got, as well as health and life coaches, but specifically heart disease. And okay, so let's talk about the heart. So this is pretty cool. Oh, I hear an echo. Oh, I hate the echo. All right. I'm sure some of you have heard that the guts are your second brain. Like we intuitively, we feel things, we know things. And that's something as a health coach, when you come to us with skin conditions or, foggy brain, all of these different kind of issues and problems that you're having inside your body. Well, something that a health coach does is we pick apart your guts. We're going to look at what you're eating, how you're living, how you're being, the stress that's affecting you, because all of these vibrations, they get stuck inside your tissues, inside your organs. So we start with your guts, but there's also your heart is another brain that might be even more powerful than this brain, because your heart has its own magnetic force and your heart has its own vibrations. It's another vibrational energy source inside your body, and it actually emits, so your heart has a magnetic field that goes 6 feet out in front of you and 6 feet out behind you. And when you are in love, which is the most powerful emotion, the most powerful vibration that human beings and animals can vibrate on. And so when you are in love and you're thinking about the person that you're in love with, your heart vibrations, your energy can actually be traced and tracked inside that person's brain waves. That is how strong these heart waves can travel. And scientists are finding this out. So a little bit of super cool stuff. But they say that you can be brain dead. Like your body will survive, your guts will function, and your heart will beat, and you can be brain dead. But when you're heart dead, you're dead. So we would like to prevent that. And I'm going to let Renee share a little bit about the whole physical health of the heart. And then I'm going to go into the spiritual and the emotional part, because that's my jam. We're going to talk about your heart chakra. So I'll let Renee go first on the physical well-being of your heart.
Okay. Well, as a functional nutrition counselor, I have to talk about food, obviously. So I figured I'd just throw out there a couple of things that, if you are worried about your heart health and, want to know what you can eat as far as keeping your heart healthy, there are a number of things, a number of food items you can have. Number one, get your fiber. Like it's so important to have in your system. It's loaded with nutrients. It helps detoxify your system, prevents constipation. It does so much, right? It keeps your blood sugars level good. It helps with your cholesterol. It actually
And
slows your
you're
aging
pooping.
too. Yeah, yeah, it does. So, make sure you're getting your fiber, and you can find the fiber in your fruit and beans. Obviously, that's probably the biggest thing that people know about. You can get it in nuts like walnuts and almonds and hazelnuts, pecans, but they're also found in vegetables like artichokes and asparagus and avocado and, broccoli, cauliflower. There's a bunch of different ones. So you want to get your veggies in. And then you want to get your whole grains as well, and make sure they're whole grains and not just the flour part of the grain. Like you don't want them processed into flours. You want to get your whole grains like oats and your quinoa and your brown rice or wild rice. So make sure you get your fiber. I mean, that's probably the number one thing that will help. But there are other things that you should have in your diet as well. Healthy fats is another one. You want to make sure that you're getting that because it helps improve your circulation and it helps improve your arteries. And eating or having olive oil actually decreases cardiovascular disease without having you gain weight. So that's really cool. So you want to make sure the healthy fats are like the olive oil, your nut oil, walnut oil, almond oil, avocado oil is a good one as well. You can also get
Coconut
healthy
oil.
fats through your nuts and avocado and stuff like that. And dark chocolate is also good as well.
My favorite.
Yeah. And then another thing is your protein. You have to have your protein, but it has to be lean protein. It's not just, don't go out and eat a whole bunch of bacon. You want to get your good proteins, like, your seafood, your fish, right? Salmon, stuff like that. If you are not a seafood person, then make sure you can, eat some poultry and eggs as well. Make sure they're organic if you can afford it. And organic beef and pork are good as well. So make sure you get some of your lean proteins in. Make sure you're drinking water. I think we're gonna have a whole topic on water coming up in a future episode, but water, you need water, right? I've also heard that, red wine is also good for cardiovascular health. But only
But
one
like
glass.
one glass, not a bottle, right?
Not a
'Cause
bottle, one glass.
I know you can get those glasses that fit a
I have
bottle.
them. I have a bunch of them. I have a whole set of them. I love them.
So now we have to reduce it down to 5 ounces, like a 5-ounce glass, not a
Yeah.
20-ounce glass.
Yeah. Yeah. So, things like that. Herbal teas are also good. Green and black tea are also good. You can have your coffee as well. Just, limit the amount that you drink. Because, you don't want all that caffeine either. And then, you want to also have fresh herbs and spices and dried herbs as well. A lot of those are so good for you and your heart health. They're good for your brain, your digestion, and your liver, right? So, and they help increase your metabolism as well. So those are some things around food that I like to talk about because I mean I think just to have those food you should be having them anyway. I mean not just for your heart; they're just healthy anyway. So it's really good. But those are known to help promote healthy aging and prevent heart disease. So that's what I wanted to talk about too. Now there are other things you can do as well. That there's a whole bunch of things, but you want to make sure you're getting your exercise in as well. Cardiovascular health, it's all about getting your heart rate going and getting it pumping and moving because you want to keep that in shape. So it's good, but you don't have to go and do a huge high intensity interval training every day. Going out for a walk is just as good. Just movement. I think we like to call it movement versus exercise. I do, at least, because it isn't just going to the gym and running on the treadmill or you know preparing for a marathon or anything. It can be anything. It can be any type of activity that just gets your heart rate going and sweat it out a bit too. And you can do that with walking. You can walk really fast. So those are a few things. I don't want to go on, but I think that's important, right? I really want to get into I want to hear what Katrina has to say about the
heart chakras.
chakras
Okay.
like
Okay.
that.
I just want to throw out there with the whole heart thing, with the food, to really avoid deep fried foods because deep fried foods are they clog everything. They clog your poop, they clog your arteries. I mean, like, did you know that Boston Pizza does baked chicken wings? So, and everyone has an air fryer nowadays. You can do amazing food in the air fryer. So there's a lot of good things that you can do at home to change the way that you cook your foods. And I know some people are still like, big on the deep fried foods, but that is just like so much strain on your heart. I mean, think of how much work your heart does and it's involuntary. So I just kind of wanted to mention the whole no deep fried food thing. And that's okay. Let's go into the heart chakra. So I heard a quote, and this is one of my most favorite quotes, and it just relates to February and it relates to anytime we talk about the heart. So the longest journey that you will ever take is from your head space into your heart space. And I pray for you, my wish for you before you die is that you complete that journey. Because once you're able to crack open your own heart space and drop into that center, your world is going to change. So in utero, did you know that our hearts are developed first? We start with the heart before our brain is developed, before our lungs are developed, before the rest of our limbs are developed. We start with our heart. So there's something right there. That magnetic force starts in utero. Pretty cool, hey? So as I was saying, the heart has its own magnetic field. And, we have that whole vibrations that go 6 feet in front and 6 feet behind us. The heart chakra is your fourth chakra, located right in the middle of your chest. So it acts as the bridge between your 3 lower chakras, which are your earth connected chakras, and then your 2 higher chakras, which is connected to heaven or the universe. Oh, there goes my oh God. I knocked my earbud out because me and my hands get all excited when I'm talking. So the heart center connects us with love, kindness, compassion, tolerance, patience, and understanding, and of course, who we truly are. And your heart is a vibration of love that is in alignment with goodness and gratitude. I got to stick to notes. I'll go off. A balanced heart chakra is someone who is friendly, compassionate, empathetic, and nurturing. And as you learn to drop into your heart space, you open your heart chakra. You want to start looking at how things are feeling, how things are sitting in that, and you want to look at it with no judgment, with curiosity and observation only. So when things hit you and they hit you here, that's when I want you to look at that with curiosity and observation before you have a reaction, good or bad. And this is the place where you're holding the energy of divine love, friendship, romance, and love. So we're all in a constant relationship, and love stems from relationships. We are in a relationship. We're always in a relationship with 2 parties, which is you're in a relationship with someone else and then you're also in a relationship with yourself. But the most important relationship is the relationship with yourself. And these relationships create, our feelings, our emotions, thoughts create emotions, and emotions create feelings. And feelings are just wild manifestations of our emotions. And there's actually a difference between emotions and feelings. So I just want to go back to the relationship that you have with yourself and get a pen and paper. This is a writer downer. So a little bit of journaling here. I want you to think about these and ask these questions, okay? Maybe I'll post them underneath when we're done this live. But how is my relationship with myself? In what tone do I talk to myself? Do I love myself? Do I say nice things to myself? And when was the last time I complimented myself? Do you feel that you look good? And do you think you're smart? So these are questions that I'd like for you to journal and answer, because going back, like, the most important relationship is the one that we have with ourselves. The most important love, that vibration. If you can think about someone you love and you have that giddy, excited feeling and your heart magnetic vibrations are in their brain waves, what would happen if you turned all those vibrations inward and you turn that into you and you got that giddy and that excited and that amazing love for yourself, authentically you, who you are, how amazing you are. Every experience that you have had has made you who you are today. So can you say thank you and move forward with that with love and compassion and kindness? Because when you hit that, your heart chakra opens. When your heart chakra opens, remember it's a bridge. So we're balancing all 7 of our heart chakras. We have root, sacral, sacrum, heart, throat, third eye, crown. So all 7 of them. All right. So if you need to have a more balanced heart center, it's all about getting to know yourself better, honoring yourself, spending quality time with yourself, taking the time to do that journaling exercise or journal how you're feeling with yourself. You will become a better friend, a partner, and a lover because you know who you are. You know exactly who you are. You know what you want. You know why you're here. The more authentic you are and the more you show up as you opens up your heart center. So, as I was saying, our thoughts give focus to emotions, and then the result is a feeling. And feelings are part of our human consciousness, and the result is emotions and the emotional state that you experience. And feelings also include awareness, impressions, and intuition. And they give us the capacity to experience those higher emotions, such as sensitivity and sensibility, which means that our feelings are manifestations of the emotions. So, how do you get in touch with your feelings? This is another writer downer. So, it's allowing yourself to recognize and process your feelings. They will help to open and balance your heart chakra. So, answer these questions. Do I allow myself to truly feel my feelings? I'm sure maybe you've done it or you've heard of people that just shove it down. I don't have time to deal with this right now. I'm just going to shove it down. I'm not going to process this. Or maybe you have a crush on somebody that's not available, as I'm talking about that love, or you have a love for something that you can never have. And then you just shove it down. I'm not going to deal with this. I'm just going to swallow this. Do you know what that does to your guts? Do you know what that does to your heart chakra? And then do you know what that does to the energy that vibrates around you and then your overall health? It's like you can't just sweep it under the rug. You can't shove it down. Am I burning? No. Do I allow myself to truly feel my feelings? Am I burning these feelings with busyness? Yes. So you can be covering everything up with busyness. You're going to shove it down. And I've done it. I've been guilty to that. I don't have time to deal with this right now. And so you don't think about it because it hurts or it makes you uncomfortable. Do I ignore the feelings that come up? How do I deal with these feelings within me? How do you deal with your feelings? Are you allowing it to come out? Are you verbalizing? Are you talking about it? Are you journaling it? Are you sharing with a trusted friend? How are you dealing with your feelings? Are you quick to point fingers at others and their lifestyles or behaviors? So there's the judging, that judging finger, or the jealousy, or I don't do it as well as she does, or she look at her, she's got all these kids and she looks amazing. Like, what the hell? Well, she has help. I don't have help. It's that finger, it's that judging, right? So we are in a constant state of growth and change from the moment that you're born until the moment you die. Oh my God, my cat. He's pushing me out of my chair. So the heart chakra is a place where we can deepen your relationship. And with healthy relationships, people love and respect. They provide a safe space to overcome personal fears of confrontation. And fear is the opposite of love. So if you are sitting in fear, how can we turn that to love? And if you, again, it's stepping into who you are. So we can love yourself more. Love, it starts with you and then it goes, it expands. Love multiplies. It can multiply and divide, but it gets bigger. It doesn't get smaller, right? And the reason that we need to do this is because there is something called there is a vortex of the energy vibrations of the world, like the whole universe. And people say, oh, you should vibrate love or above. And monks actually get to that level. I think it's 1,000, so you want to try and get 500 or above. but love or above, I think it's like 1,000 or 10,000. And monks have hit that where you're universally connected. But the whole universe on the vortex, we're vibrating, like the world is vibrating at a 200. It's very low. Like there's a lot of shame, self-doubt, regret, anger, sadness, and that is where the universe is vibrating. We're not vibrating at love or above. But it always starts with you, right? It starts with you. The only way that we can make a change and that we can start changing the vibrations of the universe is with you. And if your love for that, for your child, or that love for your pet, or that love for your spouse, if you can vibrate that high and get that giddy and have that much joy and that much love for whatever it is, it can be a cat, a kitten, your kid, your spouse, like whatever that gives you that tingly, that changes that vibrational state. And that can happen just sitting here thinking. Those thoughts can happen right now in your chair or wherever you are listening to this. You can change your vibrational state with those thoughts. And when you start protruding that magnetic force and those energy vibrations, that's what changes the world. So it starts with you. So if you can love yourself enough to feel that amazing, and then you want to share that love with other people, whomever you decide to share it with, and you get that excited, that starts the whole energy spiral and the vibrations of that love or above and changing the vibrations in the universe. And it starts with you, that one person. So all of this reflects your relationships, whatever types of relationships. You know, it can be a spouse, it can be mother, daughter, mother, son, brother, sister, you know, whatever. All of these relations, we're always in these relationships, right? So when you're able to speak the truth and share these things with whomever you're having a relationship issue with, that is you being in your, you know, standing in your truth, being your authentic self. And so it's worth overcoming instead of being in that paralysis of taking action. Remember, I said the fear. So if there's something not right in whatever relationship, it could be a work relationship, a home relationship, whatever relationship that you are not thriving in, and is it based on fear and you're not taking action because you're paralyzed, you're fearful of admitting this or saying this? Have you guys read Untamed? You know, Glennon Doyle talks about being in love with a woman after she's been married to a man and she's 40 years old and she has a husband and 3 kids. And she didn't even know that she was gay. She was at a book signing event and this amazing woman walked into the room and she just like her heart chakra blew right open. Didn't even know that she could be in love with another woman. You know, so and sometimes our soul mates are not our spouses, and that's okay. You know, you could be married and happily married and totally in love with that person, but it's not necessarily your soulmate. Your soulmate could be a sister. And I mean sister like me and Renee, you know, like sister, like female to female. It could be a really good friend. Your soulmate could be a child, like your kid. It doesn't have to be a sexual relationship for it to be your soulmate. And you can have soul links with different people. And that I experienced that. The first time I experienced that was with my current husband. He's my second husband. And I've never had that kind of like a magnetic. I mean, I'm pretty spiritual person and I'm pretty high energy. And so when I fall in love, like, yeah, I know what that's like, thinking and, you know, wanting to be with them all the time, kind of obsessing about them a little bit. But that soul link is real too. So there's a difference between a soul link and a soul mate. I invite you to explore that a little further. So, and, you know, but anyways, Glennon's story was kind of inspiring. So, allow your light to shine fully. Allow yourself the gift of being completely authentic. Show up more fully and be daring enough to reveal your true self. Trust yourself and open up your sacred heart. And I just want to, I'm going to drop a link below this live. I have worked very closely with another spiritual person. Her name is Pamela Kale. She wrote a book. It's called One Heart Wisdom. I helped her. I was her coach through that book. And the book is beautiful. And she talks about how to drop into your heart space. She personally was overcoming addiction, and her paintings, we talked about stress a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about, the different ways to complete the cycle and like get rid of that stress. Her way was through painting, creativity. And so every time she wanted a drink, she started painting. And it was just to get her to stop wanting that drink. It was just to get her the voices to stop in her head. And so she started swirling. She started drawing, and then she started painting. And then people started seeing this, and then just kind of like compounded from there, and it just grew. But through that journey, she was able to really get into her heart space. And now, I mean, her paintings are amazing. Magnificent. So I am going to drop the link to that book because I think it's awesome and people should read it. And of course, Renee and I are offering laser coaching sessions. So if you are like, maybe my body isn't functioning as well as I want it to, and maybe there is something to this heart disease prevention, and I do need to talk to Katrina and Renee, and I would like to get rid of my eczema, or I would like to feel a little bit more energized and get rid of my brain fog. And, maybe it's time to talk to some coaches. It's $125 for 90 minutes. Okay. We're going to do a deep dive into whatever issue you're suffering from. We're going to give you a blueprint. We're going to give you actionable steps to walk away with. It's going to be worth your time and your money. We promise. And I think we were going to talk about, so most of you know I'm a Reiki master. And if you are interested in having a distance Reiki session, those have kind of been really powerful lately. So if you're interested in something like that, reach out to me because I'm offering them at a pretty steal of a deal. I think like $45, and I'll do a distance session on you. And Renee is a hypnotherapist. And I think she can probably put you into a little bit of a trance to help you drop into your heart space and open up and get into that. Those are individual services though. So if you're interested in that, you'd have to reach out to me or Renee separately. But of course, if you want to do that during your laser coaching deep dive, then we would set up, additional separate appointments to do a Reiki session or a hypnosis, heart chakra open your drop into that heart space. So do you have anything else to say, Renee?
Oh, but when you were talking about, loving yourself, there's an exercise that we do as part of our life coaching certification, the mirror exercise. That's one that's hard for some people to do because it's basically standing in front of a mirror and you have to say to that mirror that you love yourself. And it's hard for some people to do. It's very hard.
Yeah, I have some clients that actually start out with maybe an affirmation before they get to the mirror. And one of my recent coaching clients, she found a song that was all about loving herself. So she would play that song. But yeah, it's definitely a challenge to get to the point of going to that mirror and looking at that mirror and being like, I love you fully and completely, and feeling. It's about changing those vibrations. It's about activating that heart magnet, that expands everywhere. But if you can do it for you, and then you do it for those that you love, it changes the vibrations of the universe.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool shit, man. That's pretty cool shit. All right. So we will see you next week. And next week we are talking about clean eating. Show up. No, I lied. We're talking about how to detox your mind, body, and spirit. We're talking about detoxing. That's what we're talking about next week. Yeah, detoxing. All right. Have a good night.
We have to put out a new schedule because it's March next week.
Yes, it's March. So we will be putting out a brand new schedule. We do have topics, but that is your little teaser for next week. Detoxing.
Awesome.
I have lots to say about that.
You've lost everything.
I know, right? I'm a talker. Okay, look how late it is, and I'm still awake. All right, good night. Bye.
Good night,
Thank you for being here.
Bye.